Darth Scabrous was a Sith Lord and alchemist who served the headmaster of the Sith Academy on the frozen world of Odacer Faustine. Scabrous sought to extend his life indefinitely, and so attempted to create an ancient Sith formula devised by the ancient Sith Lord, Darth Dreer, that would grant him immortality using the Murakami Orchid, a force-sensitive plant with its own self-conscious and high-potent connection to the Force. The formula also resulted in the partial resurrection of those who had already died, but turned them into cannibalistic monstrosities. Scabrous commanded these hordes of creatures during his lifetime. It was rumored that Darth Scabrous granted secret training sessions to Sith acolyte Rusk, during which he taught Lusk in mind control. Scabrous planned on using the Orchid's caretaker, Hesisu Trace, in a sacrificial ritual in which he would cut out her heart and eat it, allowing the high midichlorian count in it to stabilize the formula and truly render himself immortal. However, not all was going as according to the plan of Lord Scabrous. When attempting to recreate the formula created through Darth Dreer's Sith holocron, which was located deep within the temple of Odacer Faustine, which is where Darth Scabrous discovered Dreer's holocron and attempted to recreate this pathogen using different students as test subjects. Witnessing the failure of Dreer pushed Scabrous, no matter how many lives he would take. The life of his students did not matter. Dreer failed in his attempt, recording it before his own demise and becoming a monstrosity himself, due to not being able to find a Jedi with a high midichlorian count in order to devour his heart in the immortal Sith ritual. So Darth Dreer would never be known to immortality, but Scabrous, feeling he could continue Darth Dreer's legacy, studied the holocron, would spend all hours in the dark tower above the Sith Academy on Odacer Faustine, kidnapping students who were weak in the Force, who were failing in their exams during the Sith training sessions. He would use them, sending out bounty hunters to retrieve the Murakami Orchid, but none could find the true orchid, which was in the possession of the Jedi. Therefore, Scabrous commanded that Hesisu Trace be captured, and her high midichlorian count, along with the plant, would allow Scabrous to achieve his immortal state of being. He almost gained immortality, but witnessing one of his test subjects, one of the students he had recently captured who failed to defeat Lusk in a one-on-one combat duel, Scabrous took this poor student, corrupted him with the orchid, but not performing the ritual. The student died, and in moments he rose from the dead, a mindless zombie who only obeyed Scabrous' minor commands until he bit Scabrous right on the cheek. Scabrous only knew now he had 12 hours to perform this ritual, but Hesisu had escaped the Dark Tower as the pathogen of the Murakami Orchid now flowed to the Academy, infecting students, infecting Jedi Masters, and even Sith Lords themselves, because two Jedi themselves have come, and those two Jedi were not able to survive. One killed by Scabrous in a duel, and the other killed before the mission even began. What would the students experience? Who would experience this pain of being transformed? Hemorrhaging to the brain, Sith blood eyes, the ability to devour flesh. But these zombies are not traditional. Sith zombies can still use the Force. They can still use and gain the knowledge to retain the ability to wield their lightsabers This was a game changer until Scabrous realized that he could not control these zombies for too long if he himself would become one. But alas, a Sisu Trace defeated Scabrous. The entire academy was destroyed before the pathogen could spread across the galaxy. Now that was 2,000 years ago. Knowledge of the disease later on passed to Darth Vader during the reign of the Empire. The Empire sought to use this virus as a pathological weapon, very much more the equivalent of biological warfare, to use against the Rebel Alliance. The Star Destroyer Vector was assigned this task by Darth Vader. Darth Vader issued this task to be developed in secret, and this was going to be initiated 1 year before the Battle of Yavin. If this test was to have succeeded, the rebels would have been destroyed, or if not worse, a pathogen could have spread. But what Vader did not know, or failed to realize, that the virus itself was alive. The virus had a hive mind of its own. But Vader, clearly, this is Vader we're talking about here. He did not care. He wanted to see the full capabilities. Even Emperor Palpatine himself knew that this science experiment would fail. Having the Star Destroyer Vector now lost communication with the Empire, expecting the worst, that this virus could have gotten loose aboard that ship. But did Palpatine and Vader care? No, they did not. This is exactly the result. Them not taking the risk by sacrificing their own men and their own Imperials, knowing that this virus would not work. And what would it do to a regular trooper versus a Sith? The Death Troopers, which are now retconned by the Black Armored Stormtroopers, were once the living dead of this virus, which broke loose on the Star Destroyer. They worked in a hive mind. They retained their abilities to use weaponry. They would learn stealth tactics, be able to hide, and even be able to ambush, and if one was to catch you, the infection can spread through bites with only so few people immune to the virus. The year before the Battle of Yavin, Han Solo and Chewbacca found themselves captured aboard the Star Destroyer beforehand on a prison barge. Then they themselves were forced into a survival mission with a couple of prisoner brothers and a couple of Imperials that wanted to escape, all having to work together to free themselves from this affliction before it could get them and devour them. Once they escaped, never again have we heard of the virus. We don't know where the ship has gone, and we don't know if we'd ever see it again. Thanks for listening to me talk about the legend of the zombie virus in Star Wars, aka the Blackwing virus, and aka the Darth Scabrous being the ones to self-sacrifice as just as much as Darth Vader would. So, hope you guys liked it, and I'll catch you all next time.